let's see if I can find whether or not I'm live or not. There we go. Actually should be live now. I'm using a different software. All right, let's go ahead and check a couple of things. So we should be live. Oh, this says unlisted. Let me change this to live. 1 second. Okay. So we should be live now. And as we are live, I want you guys to, if you get a chance, say hello in the chat. And I want to talk to you about a simple loop that we've been doing in our membership area. We did this morning, we had a lesson, and just wanted to show you what we've been doing. Let's see if I can get the chat up. And again, I am testing out new software. So it should be that if somebody wanted to ever donate, well, you guys occasionally do donate, which is really awesome. But if that ever happens and there's a donation or somebody subscribes to the channel, I should be able to get notified now. So that's the plan. All right, let me just, okay, it says I'm live, and let me click on this, so we should be good. Okay, this should take me there, and we should be good. All right, so what we're going to do now is go through this loop, and I'm just going to teach for a little while, and I see that it just says IMA. Let me at least edit this course or this video title. So we're going to do Bob's Jazz Loop of the Day. Loop of the day with the 6th on the 5th. So we're going to do a little Barry Harris style 6 on the 5th, but also show you how you can use some really cool chords to make some really cool sounds. Okay, so 6 on the 5th, what in the world does that even mean? Well, a 6th is just G, B, D, for instance. If I go G and do a G triad, that's the 6th. If I put the 6th note in along with the triad, so that's 1, 3, 5 of the G major scale, and then I add 1 note, so G6. So 6 on the 5th would be something as simple as this. The 5th note of the C major scale is G, and you play a G6. So right there, you get a beautiful chord, which ends up being a C major 9 voicing. So another interesting way to look at this is, do you see that those are also the notes from an E minor 7? And I could play G6. I could go invert that, and now I still have a G6 in first inversion, but it also looks like an E minor 7, and you really see as you invert this one chord, you have E minor 7 there. So to play a G6 is the same exact notes as an E minor 7. And what you do is go up to the 5th note of the C major scale, C, D, E, F, G, and play a 6 on the 5th. And doesn't that sound pretty? Just that. Now, in this loop, I decided to go down to A, which is the 6th chord of C. Even those two chords together sound really nice to me. And all I'm doing is sliding. I like to slide into that major 7. Notice I have my index finger. And then I'm go down to the A. Just changing the bass from C to A, the 6th chord, gives me an A minor 11 chord. So I'm still using the same shape, the G6 in the right hand, but that gives me the flat 7 of A major scale, the 9th, the 11th, because we're stacking notes on top, and the 5th. Isn't that nice? And if you are coming onto this stream and you all of a sudden see that I'm live, if you would just say hello in the chat, and let's get some iMusic Academy YouTube people to say hello. I've been going live this morning for our academy. We have of course unlisted groups, but I love to go live on YouTube, but I would love for you guys to say hello and also to let me know if the volume is okay. Okay, so C major 9 to A minor 11. That's really nice. And then I like to go up, ba-da-da. I'm thinking here, some really nice voicings right here. Now this is a C major, first inversion, second inversion. My favorite inversion, I've probably said this 1,000 times, is your second inversion triad. I use those all the time. of the second inversion. I just love the sound of that. And so in this case, I have a C major in the right hand with a D minor in the left hand. Let's talk for just a minute about what that specific chord is. So if you have a D minor in the left hand, and then you go down a whole step and play a triad, that gives you D minor 11 right there. So this is really nice because if you spell that up, D, F, A, C, E, G, it's going up a D minor D minor 7 chord, and then you're adding the 9th on top and the 11th. And what I like to do, I mean, to me that sounds great by itself, but I also like the idea of inverting the D minor, so instead of D, F, A, you have D, A, F, and you don't have to play it all at the same time. You can roll it up. In your right hand, you have a second inversion C triad. Isn't that a nice sound right there? So I had this. And then here I'm doing G13 sus4. It looks like an F major 7 to me, and then you have a G in the bass. And that would be a good chord for you to practice transposing into different keys. And I can even do this. I can even do root with the 5th. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I like the and 1. So the and is a really nice sound. And 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. So I would definitely spend some time with that one. So let's go back and start over and do C major 9. And then to D minor 11. And then G13 sus4. And then watch what happens here. The inner two voicings are going to go down by a half step, and that immediately gives me G13 with a flat 9. Now, if you like that sound, put I like it in the chat, or leave a comment to tell me that you like these voicings that I'm doing. And isn't that so nice? So it's a G13 sus4, but now I'm resolving that down to the 3rd, and I'm also going to take the 9th and go down a half step to give me that flat 9. Now I'm going to give you guys a really quick important jazz tip that you need to know is that if whatever dominant chord I'm playing, if I go up a half step from my root, that gives me an A flat right there. So G up to A flat. If I play diminished chords, so 4 notes, A flat, B, D, and F, and I invert those, it's just the same 4 notes over and over, but watch this. That's the flat 9 of G, that's the 3rd, that's the 5th, and that's the flat 7. So just by taking a G7 chord in its most basic sense, and I go up a half step, that gives me A flat diminished, which is the flat 9, the 3, and the 5, and the flat 7. So that's a really good tip that if you're looking to get that really cool flat 9 sound, all you have to do is go a half step up from your root. And right there I was just kind of going down, arpeggiating that in just kind of a fun fashion. But you can go up and do the same thing. A flat, B, D, F, B, D, F, A flat. So the same 4 notes over and over. All kinds of ways you can turn that one idea around. But the first step is to go up a half step. Okay, so then we go back to the C major 9. But instead of the C in the bass, then we go to E in the bass. And what's so nice about that is that's straight up an E minor 7, which I'm once again sliding into a note. I like index finger going up to the 5th. So instead of C major 9, I did E minor 7. And then here I went A7 flat 9. Now once again, the quickest way to get to the flat 9 of any dominant chord you're working on, go up a half step, and that gives me B flat. But look at the other notes of this diminished chord. C sharp, which is a part of an A triad, then the E is the 5th of an A triad, and then there's your flat 7. So it goes back to that same idea that you have the flat 9 just by going up a half step and playing a diminished chord. And then I went back to my favorite inversion, which is C major over a D minor, and then we did G13 sus4, but then the very last chord in this, instead of going G13 flat 9, I decided to go sharp 9, then the 3rd, and then the flat 13. Isn't that a beautiful sound? You go ba, ba, and And then maybe you want to end it, if you're going to not do the loop and just end it. I'm hearing Da, C major 9, which also, remember, looks like an E minor. So you have this whole loop. 3, 6. Isn't that a nice sound there? So let's talk about ways you might want to practice this. One way is to simply do what I call sitting on a voicing. Sitting on a voicing means just spend time with one voicing. Like here, I'm thinking about a G6 in the right hand over a C. And I like to slide into that major 7. And then I might go 1, 6. And then I might go da, da, 2. And then 5. And then maybe just loop that again. Decide to put rhythm in there if you want to, and sometimes I'll do, instead of just sitting here on C, I might do C, C. So I'm repeating a note. 1, 2, 3. And that time I went D, G. So I also like to do that. People ask me all the time when I do a lot of rhythmic stuff in the left hand, and usually I'm just doing a 5-1 kind of sound. So one way to practice that would be to take your G13 sus4 and just do this. And I'm doing that on the offbeat. That works. Alright, so I hope that you've enjoyed this short little lesson, and I didn't have anyone get into the chat, but I am testing out this new software and was hoping to get somebody to subscribe and like the video, comment, and I'm trying to think of what all it does. If somebody ever gives a donation, it pops up and it says Johnny donated this, and that's through either I want to say super chat and a few other ways. But anyway, I do appreciate all of your support. I do have a fun new course coming out today. It's for my beginners out there. It's called, I'll tell you what it's called. It's called Beginning Blues Piano with Shape 1. And the whole course is 71 minutes of the in-depth study of Shape 1 and all the different ways, lots of different ways you can turn it around. We also do solo piano version of that, and we learn how to lock things up with Automatic Pilot and also to turn things around. I've been wanting to do another beginner course for a long time, and I really love the way this one turned out. It's very thorough, or backing tracks, and I turn them on during the course, and I have a nice little guide in the description that takes timestamps wherever you want to go in the course. So that's going to launch today, and hopefully a few people will find it very helpful. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. I'm going to play this through a couple more times, and I would love for you to comment on this video and just let me know if you like this content of the loops. I almost every day am creating new loops within the Academy, and I'm writing everything out, of course, for people, but I love to show you guys all these voicings. I could go through this one PDF right here and just show you voicings that I use all the time, like this D minor 11, like even just the way you voice it, you can roll it up, and then this G13 sus4 is so nice, flat 9, flat 13, you got your A7 flat 9, which is nice. Flat 9. Have a fantastic rest of your day.